fire, 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 fire. I'll watch it.
Riot is the new Blizzard. This is something that I've been thinking about for a while now, and I don't really hear anyone talk about it. But what exactly do I mean? For a game company to be replaced, there are 3 things that need to happen. First, it had to be worth replacing originally, meaning it had an established place in the
Is that a compliment? No, because they're trying to say that they will eventually probably take a downturn as well. If it means old Blizzard, I don't think they are like old Blizzard. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what happens in the future, though.
Industry. Second, it faltered, and it's not what it used to be. And third, another company came in and took its place, possibly even operating better than the original.
Yeah.
In this video,
It's
I'm going
debatable.
to explain how Riot did exactly that and replaced Blizzard in the games industry. Let's start at the beginning. How Blizzard became an established icon in gaming. Blizzard was founded in 1991, but didn't make a splash until the release of Warcraft Orcs and Humans in 1994. Warcraft essentially made RTS games popular, and this genre would prove very fruitful for Blizzard. Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, and StarCraft were all immensely popular. In the midst of this, Blizzard acquired Condor Games, and was making Diablo. This became another pillar for Blizzard as an action RPG franchise, which would spawn many successful sequels.
Wait, who said successful sequels? Why did you say that? That's not in the fucking books, my man, but okay.
With all that being said, we all know what really changed the game.
What a Warcraft! Salutaro! Look at that bear! 2004 cinematic, by the way. Crazy.
The reason why WoW is such an important release in gaming history is because it introduced hundreds of thousands of people to the world of online gaming.
I'm coming up with 32.
Are you playing WoW currently? Not on stream, no.
Repeating, of course. Percentage of survival.
Well, it's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this.
Leroy!
For better or
Classic.
for worse, WoW was intended to be accessible to anyone who wanted to give it a try. And that was present in its design, but also in its art style. And it majorly
Casual
paid off.
game, yeah.
Blizzard had hit the big leagues. After this, Blizzard saw continued success in StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, World of Warcraft expansions, and their first collectible card game, Hearthstone.
God, classic Hearthstone was so good. And then it became an overbloated fucking mess and pay to win.
This was another brand new genre for Blizzard, and once again, they nailed it by making the game extremely accessible
God, it was
and inviting.
so good. And
But the
easy
last
to
game we need
learn.
talk about is, of course, Overwatch. Taking lessons from Team Fortress 2, Blizzard
Are you talking
refined
about
the hero
Marvel
shooter
Snap?
design
I don't care for Marvel Snap at all, but I'm sure it's a fine game.
and placed it into a brand new, colorful world.
I miss
with
it,
incredible
dude.
characters.
2016?
They succeeded once again by
2014?
bringing in new players to a genre that was previously considered hardcore. It was here around 2016.
Yeah, they did casualize. You know what? Actually, this makes sense. I think the only non-casual game that Blizzard has ever made is StarCraft. StarCraft is not casual. It is quite intense.
That Blizzard was at their peak. So what made Blizzard special? Well, looking at their history, I think it was 3 things.
Milk!
1. A
Titty
mastery
milk!
of different genres. Blizzard kept trying new things and succeeding. Their fans could always expect something new and interesting from them. 2. Iconic IP. Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, and Overwatch.
StarCraft!
It's not common that you see one game company create 4 titan franchises that people know and love. And 3. Approachability and accessibility.
But what does Blizzard have? They just have League, like... Oh, well, they have Valorant, I guess. Yeah, okay, never mind. I take that back. I was like, derp.
They was able to gain so many fans. because
Riot?
each
Yeah,
time
I
they
mean
released a new
Riot,
product,
my bad.
They were attacking a different area of the market. And because of their art, music, and design sensibilities, people would try their games and stick around. This is very rare in the gaming space, and even rarer for one company to pull it off so often. So there you have it. In 2016 and 2017, Blizzard was one of the most loved gaming companies. and they had earned it. By caring about their players and just releasing quality games, no one doubted them for a second. But as it turned out, things were too good to be true.
Yep. The fall!
It's
love
November
the fall.
2018. We're at BlizzCon. Blizzard's annual gaming convention. The fans are having a great time, but the question on everyone's mind is, where is Diablo 4?
Oh my god.
It had been 6 years since the original release of Diablo 3.
I will tell you, like, my personal fucking, like, shit the bed moment. I was watching the BlizzCon thing, like, live, and I actually gasped when this happened. Audibly. Like, you guys don't have phones? And I was like, oh, you did not just fucking say that in front of a bunch of Blizzard kids, man. Yeah, audible gasp. Yeah, I actually gasped in real life, and nobody was around. I was just gasping because I was so shocked.
And a new game was heavily rumored. Was it finally going to be revealed? And then, this happened.
We want to use mobile devices as the platform for a new Diablo game. Is there any?
And then to top it off,
this video is sponsored by Audible Gasp.
Audible Gasp! That was a good one, Choco. God, this was 5 years ago? Yep. Yeah, no, you know, it wouldn't have been that fucking bad if they actually showed something for Diablo 4. Genuinely. I think it would have softened the blow of this whole fucking mobile bullshit if they actually had something to show for Diablo. I think the reason why people took it so hard is because everybody was asking for fucking Diablo 4. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And then they just fucking shit the bed and showed this.
Any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile?
They didn't have Diablo 4. No, they did. They have proof of working on it for the last 10 years, but it was passing through so many hands that they didn't have anything to show, and they didn't want to give anything because then they would have people on their back. That's why they didn't do it. But and I genuinely think they should have just not.
Are there any? Yeah, the current plan is to.
They shouldn't have done it.
Mobile. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
That's why everyone got mad. Was there something wrong with that mobile game? Yeah, it was insanely pay to win. Have you not seen the videos of people spending $100,000 upgrading their gear? Yeah, that's real. It was extremely pay to win.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Woo!
Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
Giga Chad. This guy's a giga. Richard
Woof.
guy, boo!
A free-to-play, microtransaction-heavy mobile game? This is obviously not what the fans were looking for. This wasn't a company that was expected to release a predatory mobile game.
Yep.
This was the first blow to Blizzard's sterling reputation.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, before that, there was other things, but sure.
The next blow was about 1 year later at the Hearthstone Grandmasters tournament in Taiwan. During an interview with Blitzchung, one of the competitors from Hong Kong, he showed support for the ongoing protests in his country. Shortly thereafter, Blitzchung was disqualified from the tournament, had to forfeit his winnings, and was banned from Hearthstone tournaments for 1 year. Once again, fans were furious with Blizzard. The Hong Kong protests were against the government having the ability to extradite their prisoners to China, where human rights concerns were rampant. Blitzchung advocating for the safety of his people was commended by the Hearthstone community. However, Blizzard appeared to side with the Chinese government. Faith in Blizzard was shaken again. 2021. Another blow to Blizzard
not
appears
stirred.
in the form of a massive headline. The state of California sues Activision Blizzard for sexual
Here
harassment.
we go.
Everything that came out during this lawsuit was horrible. And for many fans,
The
this was the
Cosby
final straw with
suit.
Blizzard,
Oh,
claiming
sweet,
that they were
yeah.
walking away from their games forever. I don't know how many actually
Oof.
did, but their anger is completely understandable.
Oof,
While the
chat.
lawsuit was definitely the worst thing that happened at Blizzard, there were still more issues to come. In 2022, Diablo Immortal released, and it did in fact have predatory microtransactions. Overwatch 2 was extremely hyped when it was revealed, but disappointment after disappointment led it to being the worst.
I was not hyped for Overwatch 2. I'm gonna be real. I played the shit out of Overwatch 1. I feel like the only people who really like Overwatch 2 never played Overwatch 1.
Worst user-reviewed game in Steam history. It's safe to say that in 2023, Blizzard is not who they once were.
Yep.
The stage is set for someone new to take up the mantle. Let's rewind for a second. In 2006, 2 years after WoW was released, Riot Games was founded in Santa Monica. At the time, They were unique because they wanted to make a singular, long-running, free-to-play game. Free-to-play games are everywhere now, but at the time, it was unheard of in the West. However, they believed in their idea and released League of Legends in 2000.
League was such a game changer for little fucking high schoolers and middle schoolers like me who wanted to play a game without having to pay money. It was so awesome. But again, they casualized the game down. Dota was fucking hard. Yeah, or have a great PC. Yeah, that's right. My friend who ran it on a literal shit fucking can computer to the point where he could launch the game and 50% of the time he would disconnect because his computer would crash because the game was, the computer was so bad. He would have to close out the client as soon as he launched the game into the match because his computer was so bad. But he could still play the game. He could. I remember this very distinctly. He had a CRT monitor and a bare bones dog shit fucking computer in the year of like 2012 or some shit. It was so bad, but at least he could play the game.
In 2013, League was the most played multiplayer PC game in the world.
Yeah, I believe it.
Raking in the cash for microtransactions. Now, if Riot had only focused on League and not made any other games like they originally intended, I wouldn't have considered them a challenger to Blizzard. However, in 2019, Riot became a challenger by announcing their plans to diversify their game portfolio.
Dota Auto Chess becoming TFT and becoming an easier version of Dota Chess, and then Dota Chess failing.
That same year, they released their first new game,
Interesting.
Teamfight Tactics. Remember Auto Chess being huge?
Yep.
Then, in early 2020, they dropped Legends of Runeterra, essentially their take on Hearthstone, but using League mechanics.
I don't really get this. I'm gonna be honest. I gave Runeterra a lot of tries and I never got into it.
They also released Wild Rift, a port of League of Legends to mobile. However, the game that changed everything came out in the summer of 2020, when everyone was stuck inside looking for a new experience. And that was Valorant. Valorant is essentially a hero shooter like Overwatch, but its gameplay is most akin to Counter-Strike.
Runeterra better than Hearthstone? I disagree, but only because old Hearthstone is way better than Runeterra. Runeterra is so immensely complicated that it's not easy to get into, and that's why it doesn't have a massive fan base. But it probably is better than Hearthstone right now because Hearthstone is now overcomplicated and also not fun to play. It's not that complicated. I have literally just said it is more complicated than Hearthstone, therefore harder to get into. I know you think that it's probably not that complicated, but for someone who's like, you know, into Hearthstone and it wasn't complicated then, getting into Runeterra was a bit much. And I've watched videos of Hearthstone champions, or like competitors, like esports competitors, going to play Valorant, and they not Valorant. God, what am I saying? Runeterra, and they think it's complicated. Like they could probably play it, but it would take a lot of time investment in comparison. Dota 2 is still a nightmare to get into with every new character I try. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like you can get into it. It does have the fundamentals. But the time investment you would have to invest into Dota, Runeterra, the tier up, would be, like, a lot.
A game known for being extremely difficult and hard to get into.
Yeah, and Valorant is the easier version of CSGO.
Hardcore fans on its own anyway, but the role of the pandemic cannot be understated here. 20 million people checked out Valorant in its first few months of release.
Yeah, I remember this. It was crazy.
Currently, Valorant enjoys 25 million monthly players, which is right up there with Overwatch. It's safe to say that Valorant proved that Riot wasn't just a MOBA developer. And they're not done yet. Project L is one of the most anticipated fighting games.
Another casualized street game, not Street Fighter, like fighting game. Again, professional Smash players liked the game, but they said it was extremely simple compared to other fighting games that they did. I think it will have a massive casual audience, but it will never be something that people will really, really get into unless it like pops off and like makes itself like into like a community game that people really like. I don't know if it'll happen, but
games to be coming out
again,
in the next few years.
We'll see.
It's a 2v2 team fighting game made by hardcore fighting game players using the League IP, and it's going to be free to play. Riot has also announced Project F, an action RPG likely similar to Diablo, and their own MMORPG rumored
Didn't Ghostcrawler stop? Like, didn't Ghostcrawler leave, man? What? Yeah, Ghostcrawler left. He's making his own MMO because he fucking quit this. Yeah, this 2020. Yeah, okay. He started his own shit. I'm not... You ding dong. I'm trying to clarify to those that don't know. Greg Street was a massive fucking lead developer in this MMO that they're talking about that's with Riot. I was a little bit cautious about fucking Greg leaving because he's kind of a big deal. Ghostcrawler came from fucking World of Warcraft, by the way. And then he moved on to Riot, and now he's going to make his own MMO after working on this one. And I'm like... Yeah, I'm like...
World of Runeterra. But is all this enough to call them Blizzard's replacement?
We'll see.
Well, let's do a comparison based on the 3 criteria I mentioned earlier. 1. Mastery of different genres. Let's do a quick comparison of all the genres Blizzard and Riot have released games in or announced.
He left because he did everything he had to. I don't know. We'll see. I want the MMO to be good. I want it to be good because I like Riot. It's Riot's IP, and I also really like MMOs. So, yeah.
Blizzard has released games in 8 different genres, including RTS,
Damn.
card game,
Look at
FPS,
that.
and a mobile game. They've also announced they're working on their first survival game, rumored to be called Odyssey. Moving over to Riot, they've released games in 5 different genres, MOBA, Auto Battler, etc., but have announced 3 more games in 3 new genres for them. Action RPG, MMORPG, and a fight.
They haven't announced anything for this, to be fair, but we'll see.
That's a total of 9 genres for Blizzard and 8 for Riot. Now, not all these comparisons are one-to-one. Hearthstone is much more popular than Legends of Runeterra, and League is way more successful than Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
On the whole, I would argue that the quality and variety of Riot's offering is
Blizzard making Genshin, yeah.
And after a couple more game releases, it will be hard to say otherwise.
Again, I think this guy has a little bit of a Riot bias because he brought up the fucking the fucking follow Blizzard, but they failed to see that Riot actually did have problems with their, with their company at some point, but probably is. We'll see. I just thought it would be...
IP. Both have strong enough IP to be used in multiple games, or launch completely new ones. In recent years, however, Riot has had the upper hand.
Arcane, yeah.
The release of Arcane in 2021 showed the strength of the League of Legends
Arcane was a big deal.
And introduced millions of people to the world of Runeterra. Riot has also collaborated with other studios to release games in their universe. So far, we've gotten Ruined King, The Mage Seeker, and Convergence. And it's safe to say the strategy is going well. Comparing this to Blizzard, we had the Warcraft movie, which was fine, and
No, it wasn't. I think it fucking sucked, but that's just me. I think they should have done, like, the Wrath of the Lich King fucking universe-ish, like Warcraft 3-ish universe, instead of doing the fucking prequels where nobody fucking gives a fuck about anything. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care about, like, orcs and fucking Medivh. Gul'dan is cool, but, like, the whole 9 yards with the epilogue, I think that's boring.
Shorts,
I don't
which are great,
care for it.
But any Overwatch fan will tell you they would kill for an Overwatch show, and they haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
Additionally, when Blizzard tried to collaborate with other studios in the past, it always ended in failure. Remember StarCraft Ghost? Neither do I, because it never came out.
Yep,
and yes, that's not necessarily the IP's fault, but Riot's characters have been much more present in the zeitgeist lately. 3. General accessibility. This is probably where the largest difference between Blizzard and Riot exists. I would argue that both Blizzard and Riot games are accessible in terms of art style and overall aesthetics. But Blizzard has always prioritized making their games easy to get into, and I don't think Riot can say the same. Yes, League of Legends and Valorant are both free to play, but they are very intimidating. A MOBA and a Counter-Strike-esque shooter? Yikes. Not to mention, Riot games are notorious for their toxicity.
Nobody talks about Dota toxicity, man. It's funny because Dota is really toxic, but, like, nobody talks about it. For some reason, people have a fucking... Yeah, it's expected, exactly. Like, in League, I don't know, maybe it's worse in League, because they aren't as loud as League players. I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was the whole fucking behavior score debacle, but, like, still...
That all being said, Riot's games being more hardcore might be the factor they need to set themselves apart from Blizzard.
What are you fucking talking about? They are not fucking hardcore. Okay, that's a fucking dumb take. Riot is not hardcore. They literally made League of Legends. That is a dumbed down Dota game. Like, it's a casual MOBA. Like, granted, Heroes of the Storm is the giga casual, but like, that sort of like sets it apart more than fucking League.
So, after all that comparison, it's my opinion that Riot is the new Blizzard.
Yeah, yes, okay.
Age and quality of games. They have incredibly strong IP, and even if Riot's games are a bit intimidating, all of them are free to play.
What the fuck are you talking about? The genre, like the genre might be intimidating. I understand that. Valorant is the casual version of CS:GO. What is this guy fucking on about? I don't know. I disagree on that, but whatever.
People have no excuse not to at least try them. All of this being said, Riot is not a perfect company. If they were trying to imitate Blizzard, then they have done so.
Okay, there we go. He does acknowledge that.
They do appear to be taking the correct steps to remedy their past problems, so we can only hope that the situation is improving. Riot is also completely owned by Tencent, a Chinese mega corporation that has their fingers all over the gaming industry. This hasn't appeared to have any seriously negative repercussions yet, but we should keep our eyes open.
Not yet, because they own. Doesn't Tencent also own Grinding Gear Games, and they own Path of Exile, and they're not super aggressive. Like, I feel like they do a pretty good job with Path of Exile.
As for Blizzard, things are kind of up in the air right now. The Microsoft acquisition just went through, but we still have no idea how things will change. I at least am thankful that Bobby Kotick will be leaving.
Thank
God. I have high
God.
hopes that Microsoft can get Blizzard back
Surely.
to what they once were.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but maybe they'll like redeem themselves a little bit, you know?
The best games industry is one that takes care of its employees, cares.
But Riot doesn't do either. They have horrible fucking working conditions, at least from what I've read. Bobby will leave? Yeah, he's supposed to leave by the 1st of January. Like, Blizzard had horrible conditions from the start, don't get me wrong. I've read that personally, but like, I don't know, Riot's not innocent either. I think gaming industries in general have really fucking dogshit working conditions for their employees, no matter what.
For its fans, and it's inspired.
I wouldn't say that they're like
one another.
Better.
Hopefully that will be the case with these two companies. That's all I have to say, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me down in the comments.
I agree and I disagree. I think his take on saying that like Riot makes difficult games is very, 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 very wrong, but that's just me. Good video though. He has a nice voice and has a good script. I made something you might want to see. You can DM me. Yeah, sure. Do it real quick. I gotta go really bad. Clappers though. Yeah. I mean, I'm being overly critical, but like overall, I'll give him a little like he did a good job. Little first time video essay. I think he did good. Mommy. Piss. Shit. Piss. Fuck. Fucking shit on. Piss myself. Fuck. Piss. Fuck. Piss.